guys. It is Wellness Wednesday here at Simply Better Wellness. Last week on our Wellness Wednesday chat, we talked about what quantum alignment is. Today, we're going to go a little deeper into that, and we're going to talk about how I utilize quantum alignment with my coaching clients to get them from a state of maybe misalignment where they just don't know what is wrong, they just know that something isn't right, to a state where they have clarity, where they're focused, where they're more productive, and where they achieve their goals. So if you're new around here, my name is Jennifer Levens. I am a quantum alignment mentor, a Reiki master, a certified herbalist, and I am the only emotion code practitioner in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. If you're new around here, go ahead and hit that like button and the subscribe button so that you can get notified each week when I post a new video. All right, you guys. I have my notes here. There's lots of information for us to go over. So let's just dive right in. For those of you who are new, I'm just going to share a little bit about myself. So, like I said, my name is Jen Levens. I am a quantum alignment coach, a Reiki master, a certified herbalist, and an emotion code practitioner. I run my practice, Simply Better Wellness, off of my family's 4-acre homestead here in Michigan's Upper Peninsula. One thing you guys might not know about me is ever since I was a young teenager, I've always had a passion for healing my body naturally. At the age of 15, I was on 4 different medications for depression, anxiety, trouble sleeping, and then also I was on medication for rheumatoid arthritis that I was diagnosed with when I was 10 years old. What I noticed is that these meds typically made me feel worse when I took them versus when I didn't take them. I noticed that I dealt with side effects like suicidal thoughts. I constantly had an upset stomach, constantly felt sick. And I also dealt with increased anxiety instead of decreased anxiety like I should have, being on an anxiety medication. My sleeping med made me feel completely like a zombie. And most of the time, if I didn't go to bed right when I took it, then I would do things like sleepwalk or do some of the most random things without even knowing that I was doing them. I'll never forget this one time. I woke up one morning, I was naked in my bed, and I was covered in like pink goo. And so I went to my mom and I was like, what the heck happened? And she told me that she had asked me to give my brother his medicine before I went to bed one night, not realizing that I had already taken my sleeping med. So she asked me to give my brother his medicine. At the time, he just had like a little cold going on, cold situation, and the doctor had given him that like pink bubblegum medicine that was always prescribed to younger kids at that time. So apparently I went to go give my brother his medicine. I don't remember any of it. The only thing I remember is having a dream that I was swimming in a pool of like pink stuff. Well, my mom found me in the kitchen, literally swimming, like laying on the floor swimming in this like pink goo. And apparently she like helped me to my room, like helped me get off my yucky clothes and put me to bed. I don't remember any of that. All I remember is this dream about swimming in a pool of like pink stuff. Okay. So for a 15-year-old, that was really scary to not know what was happening inside of my own body. Eventually, I ended up actually taking myself off of all of the meds that I was on, and I vowed to myself that I was going to find a more natural way to help my body. Okay. So I spent probably the next 15 or so years just learning everything that I could about different healing modalities. Not just for emotional healing, but also healing my physical body as well. It wasn't until I discovered healing on the quantum level, though, that I actually began to feel shifts happening within my mind, body, and spirit. I first experienced quantum healing, which, just so you guys know, that is just a fancy term for healing that occurs on the energetic level. So, the first time that I ever experienced quantum healing was during a healing session that I had in 2019 by a Reiki master and emotion code practitioner. At the time, I was dealing with a throat issue where I would just cough and cough and cough and cough, and we didn't know why. I would also be in the middle of a conversation with someone, and my voice would just go out. It would just be gone. And I went to doctor after doctor. I tried everything I could think of naturally to heal it. I did everything that I could think of, and nothing was happening. I would still just deal with this issue. So I was talking to my sister-in-law about it, and she suggested that I go see her friend that was a Reiki healer and emotion code practitioner. And at the time, even though I had a really good base when it came to natural healing, I felt like I knew a lot at that time. Even though I knew those things and I knew that energy healing was a real thing and that that healing could occur on that level, I kind of thought it was bullshit. I was very skeptical at the time, but I am one of those people who I will try anything once. So I was like, okay, fine. I'll go check this out. It wasn't until I was lying on the table and I could literally feel the energy shifting in my body that my interest was piqued. That day literally changed everything for me. Everything. I left that session not only with my throat feeling better and also other issues that I didn't even think to tell this healer about, that I knew were just released from me and I wasn't going to deal with them anymore. So I not only left with my throat feeling better, plus other ailments that I was not even tracking on, that I knew were issues, but I never thought to tell this healer about them. Those were gone. My throat was better. I have not had an issue with my throat since that day. Okay? And I was completely hooked on energetic healing at that point. I was so interested. I wanted to know more. I wanted to find out everything I could about how to heal my body in that way. So I spent the next several years learning about quantum healing. I became a certified emotion code practitioner in 2021, and then I became a Reiki master in 2023. During this time, I also became a certified life coach. And I followed that path and did that schooling because as I was working one-on-one with clients, I found that sometimes I spent more time just intuitively coaching them than what we actually spent on the healing. And what I found is that sometimes that within itself was healing for the client. So I wanted to get a little bit of a better handle on how how I could do that. I wanted to make sure that I was grounded and rooted in what I was doing and that I knew how to help people in that way. Then last year, I opened my practice with a mission to help women specifically feel better. And today, I use quantum healing techniques paired with coaching and mentorship to help women align their energy and remove blocks that keep them from reaching their goals. Many times, when we choose to go after a goal, what do? We fall onto that old adage that we were taught in school, right? We make what's called SMART goals. Do you guys remember those? So it was like SMART, specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time bound goals. Well, my clients do that too. At the first session with a new client, I always ask them the same question. I ask, what do you want your life to look like 1 year from today? Without fail, most of my clients say the same thing. I don't want to feel this way a year from now. That actually shows me as a coach 2 things. It first of all shows me that they are dedicated to change and willing to put in the work. And then it also tells me that they may not be sure what is wrong, quote unquote, but that they know something is not in alignment. So then we know that we need to go and look for whatever that is and do some work. If the client was truly in alignment when they came to me, first of all, they probably wouldn't come to me to begin with. But if they were truly in alignment when they came to me, then when I asked that question, they would have clarity. They would be able to say specifically what they want their lives to look like in 1 year. That is what working with a quantum alignment coach can bring you. When I work with a client, we spend the first couple of sessions really getting to the root of what is misaligned. So it may be something physical, it may be something emotional, or it may be both. But we get to the root of what is misaligned, and then together we come up with a care plan that helps remove those blocks. Blocks may be things like trapped emotions, limiting beliefs, blocked chakras, or it could be a physical ailment that the person is having that is keeping them from reaching their fullest potential. Once those blocks are removed, though, the client can then focus on achieving their goals. So here's an example for you guys. I had a client who came to me looking for direction on starting their own counseling business. At the first session, I asked this client the same question I ask all my clients. And she said to me that she really wanted to be helping people in a year. And I was like, okay, great, awesome. Like, you have a goal, you know what you want to do. This is awesome. Let's do it. Well, as we were unpacking her goals, we discovered some blocks that she was experiencing. She knew that she had this innate desire to help people. And she had spent years working as a social worker, working as a counselor in someone else's practice. And now she was really just searching for more. She wanted her own practice, a space that was just hers. What we soon discovered was that one of her blocks was that she struggled with charging people for her counseling services and what to charge people. When she worked for other people and for other practices, there was always someone who handled that for her. She was never in charge of being the person to collect that fee. So she had never experienced that part. Now she was struggling with charging the amount that she knew that she had to charge to be able to have a successful practice. Together, we used the emotion code to release any trapped emotions she had related to just her self-worth. And then also we use some release of some limiting beliefs and blocks that she had surrounding money to open her up to what her self-worth was and being able to charge what she knew she was worth charging. We worked together on her goals for about 3.5 months. Now she's had her practice open for about 6 months, and she's doing really well. So by releasing these things that were holding her back, she was able to move forward without the weight of those things still on her. That's what being in alignment looks like. It's having everything within your mind, body, and spirit all just going in the same direction to help you achieve your goals. So we know from quantum physics that energy affects other energy. When we remove the negative energy, it raises the frequency of all the energy that's around it. Now, I wish I could say that everything for this client just went smoothly, it was all smooth sailing, but that's not reality. As most of us have, this client had experienced moments of trauma in their life. We spent a lot of time removing trapped emotions that were tied to her self-worth. Some of those sessions were really, really hard on her. And so when I have a session like that with a client, I like to always finish the session up on the Reiki bed, just bringing in and channeling that light energy to her to help her relax and ground and leave the session feeling balanced and just ready to take on their day-to-day life. This is one of the benefits of working with a quantum alignment coach versus working with, say, a traditional coach. It's a much deeper level of coaching. We're able to clear away negativity and leave you feeling open to alignment with your goals. This level of alignment leads to clarity, to improved well-being, to increased productivity. It can also lead to profound personal growth. I've never experienced that more than while going through the process of becoming a Reiki master. When going through that process and getting attuned to the Reiki energy, I was forced to just shed all the bullshit that was holding me back. So if you guys don't know about the process that goes along with becoming a Reiki master, it is quite the ride. So there are 3 levels. There's your level 1, level 2, and level 3. In your level 1, you go through an attunement process, and then you, for 3 weeks, you spend time not eating meat, not drinking alcohol, basically not doing anything that could be considered a vice. So no meat, no dairy, no sugar, no alcohol, no drugs, of course, or recreational drugs, which that wasn't an issue for me. But none of that. No caffeine. So if it's fun, you can't do it. And what that does is it forces you into this space of just being 100% vulnerable to all of the emotions and all of the bullshit that you've been holding inside. So you go through this with your level 1, your level 2, and your level 3. Okay? And each time it's about 21 days, about a 21-day process. Well, so when I went through my level one, first of all, I was completely unprepared. No one prepared me for this. And my number one, or level one attunement was so rough. I cried for 21 days straight. Then my level two one, I apparently was releasing all my anger because I tell you, every single person that was within my stratosphere, I was going to stab with a rusty wooden spoon. Like, it was so bad. I kept telling everyone, I'm like, I'm just so mad all the time. Then my level three was full of anxiety. Now, just so you guys understand, I'm a very anxious person as it is. I dealt with anxiety as a teenager, I've dealt with it as an adult. It's just, it's part of, who I am, or I should say who I was. Well, the third level was all about anxiety. I was shaking for actually a little bit longer than 3 weeks. That one took about 5 weeks to kind of work everything out. But you know what? It was 100% worth it. All of the crap that I went through during that time was 100% worth it. Because in the end, I am now more focused and I have achieved goals that I did not think were possible. Things like leaving my corporate job to open my practice full time, experiencing and being a part of massive shifts that happen for my clients. And then also things like doing, a YouTube channel and coming out and just speaking about these things. For someone who their entire life has dealt with anxiety and hated public speaking so much that they literally changed majors in college because they had to take a public speaking class. Like, it is massive to me, the shifts that occurred during that year and a half that I was studying Reiki. So now I use all those things that I learned during those times, all the things that I've learned from these different modalities to work one on one with my clients. So when I'm working with a client, I typically cater what we do during the session based off of what that client's goals are. So every session is going to be different, and every client and their experience is going to be different. We may use several different modalities during a session. So we might use the emotion code, which identifies and releases trapped emotional energy from within the body. We also might utilize Reiki, which channels that universal life force energy that surrounds us at all times. It channels it into healing for the body. We might pull a client's human design chart, which, if you don't know about human design, I thoroughly encourage you to look it up. It is the blueprint that makes us uniquely us as humans, and it really gives us perspective about how we interact with the world around us. So we might pull a client's chart during a session if we need a bit more perspective about why they're struggling with a certain thing. Sometimes I encounter a client who might have some unique health conditions that are causing blocks to their healing. So then we work alongside their healthcare professional to add some different herbs or different oils or things like that into their regular daily routine to help lessen those blocks. The ultimate goal, though, is to release the things that are holding the client back so that they can move forward and achieve the things that bring them the most joy in life. Now, this is going to look different for each person. That is why quantum alignment is such a personal experience. Each person is unique. Each client takes me on this different healing journey that, I've never been on before. because it's not my journey, it's theirs. But they allow me to go with them on that healing journey. That is one reason that I prefer the term quantum alignment mentor versus coach. I feel like I am going on this journey with my clients, and I've committed to walk alongside them through the toughest parts of their journey. While each journey is unique to the individual, there are some things that I typically do when working with a client. So I typically work with a client for around 10 to 12 sessions. It's usually around 3 months. And the sessions can be done either here at our family's homestead here in the Upper Peninsula, or because of the nature of energetic work, I can actually perform the exact same healing session that a client would receive in-house online through like a Zoom room or like an online forum. So I do offer those as well. I offer private online sessions. And like I said, because of the nature of energetic work, we don't have to be in the same room for the healing to work. I have performed sessions on people in Georgia, Virginia, Pennsylvania. I've done tons of them for people in Lower Michigan. And then I myself have received a healing session from someone all the way in Australia. And I tell you, it was profound, it was incredible, and it worked. Okay? So it's just incredible that we can send that healing energy, and it doesn't matter where in the world the person is, they're going to receive it as long as the intention is set for them to receive it. Sessions typically last around an hour and a half, and at the end of each session, always offer a complimentary oracle card pull for each client. The last point I want to make to you guys today is that quantum alignment is not just a one and done situation. Okay? Like I said, I typically work with clients for around 3 months to get them from point A to point B. And it's taken as long as 6.5 months for a client before. But you know what? It is totally worth it to see the end result. To shed all of the bullshit that's just been hanging around on us for years, all the trauma, all the unkind words that were said, all of the self-doubt and self-loathing, all of that, just to release it and let it go is incredible. It is not an easy road sometimes. There are going to be difficult moments. There are going to be times where you want to give up. There are going to be times where it doesn't feel worth it. But there are also so many times of just immense joy and success. So that is it, you guys. I hope that gives you a deeper understanding of what quantum alignment is and how quantum alignment mentorship can help you to achieve your goals. If you guys have any questions, of course, as always, leave them in the comments and I will get back to you guys and answer those questions. Also, join us here every Wednesday for a different wellness chat. We're going to be talking about lots of different topics and sharing all the information that I've learned over 15 plus years of learning how to heal my body naturally and work through all of the hard stuff that we go through day to day in this human experience. So thank you guys so much. Always remember that you are enough, you are worthy, and you are so very loved. I will see you guys next time. Bye.